Lots of torque under the pedal. And you know, it's quite a quick car. Really powerful on the acceleration. I'm impressed. Three, two, one. Let's go. Hi there, everyone. Welcome to DM Car Reviews. Today, we're driving a 2022 Porsche Cayenne GTS Coupe on the channel. Let's fire it up. Let's go take a look outside this beast. Gotta say, this is a super sharp looking car. It's got a beautiful design, a lovely exhaust. And this comes with a 4.0T, just like the SQ8. And I think this is 460 horsepower or 490. I think this is the 460 version. But if I was ordering one, I would definitely get it in this color. Now, I've driven the regular Cayenne. I haven't driven the Coupe or the GTS version of this. But here in the back, we have soft touch materials, suede. We got the GTS stitching. Everything looks great. And let's hop in the back. Very comfy back seats. We got the red seat belts too. This car is so tastefully styled. Suede roof, but surprisingly no rear climate controls. None of that. Let's go take a look at the trunk. Nice and big. And let's take a look at the engine. Now, this is the all familiar 4.0 liter that Audi uses in their SQ8 or SQ8. And surprisingly, this actually pushes out less horsepower than the SQ8. That is the surprising part. But let's go take this baby for a spin. Now, on the inside, like I said, you will find suede, sport seats. SQ8 also has them, and a lot of adjustments. But notice, there's no chrome surrounding on the seats like in the Audi. Also, this car seems to be limited at 150, I'm guessing. I don't know what this specific limiter means. Maybe it's on winter tires. I don't know. But let's look at the features. We got a huge panoramic sunroof. Oh, look at that. A lighted visor. Let's get out of here. Yes, we got navigation. Nice and good screen. I wish it was tilted more to the driver, but it's very flat. Sport chrono, Android Auto. Let's see, this is the sport suspension. Breakdown call, music, media, climate, nav, apps, off-road mode, assist, source. We are in limited time, so I'm not gonna go over the whole infotainment system here, but let's back out of here. I love the red seat belts. Seriously, what a great touch. Very similar mirrors to the Audi. I like this leather handle. And I'm guessing no reverses like this. Same camera as the Audis. Same distortion, just a little better 360 quality. So the question is, was this car really worth 160 or 150, whatever the MSRP was when it was new? All right. Now let's go take this baby for a drive. The sound is delicious. Ooh. Here you can look through all the different stuff. You got all your different virtual cockpit settings. And honestly, I much prefer this specific setup over the newest one that they have. And the clock, I love that. I think that's a really nice touch to the car. You also got the blind spot system here, auto headlights, paddle shifters, similar to the ones you'd find on the RS5. They're very similar, I feel like it's the same part. But we're gonna start in like a normal mode. Just see how it feels normally. I do like the new screen that they implemented. It's much better than the older one. Chassis, okay. Let's go to low. I'm guessing this has the air suspension, so yeah, we're gonna go down to low. Sport exhaust system, heck yeah, turn that on. Steering wheel feels nice, thick. Oh yeah, lots of torque under the pedal. Pedal feels the same as on the SQ8. I don't feel any difference with the gas pedal. Feels about the same to me. Oh God. The brakes are good, but they definitely need a little bit of time to stop this car. Sport. I mean, heck, let's just go to Sport Plus, why not? Heck yeah. Sounds exactly like the SQ8, honestly. Can't even tell much of a difference. Ooh. Sweet. Ride height is good. I like that. I like how it keeps the gear. Really nice. And you know, it's quite a quick car. Really powerful on the acceleration. I'm impressed. Oh, the brakes. You can feel how heavy this car is. They're not bad brakes. You do have to really push them though. Fast car, let me tell you that. Although we didn't do a proper 0 to 60 run or anything, I am curious as to what it still showed. 0 to 65.11 downhill. LOL. That's so funny though. Even though I wasn't timing it specifically. I just want to let it start up so we have Dragy ready. Oh yeah. Oh, of course you gotta cut. I mean, we're leaving the traffic behind like easily. 0 to 60, again, 5.15 valid, same 5.1 every time I see it. 0 to 62, 5.41, 40 to 84.88, and the 1/8 mile, 8.72 to 87.91. Is that a correct value? Let's see. 1/8 mile. No, it's actually 84.6. It's not 87. Right there, 84.6. Well, time to get the race box out and do some actual legit testing. Let's check the U-turn radius. Well, if everybody just turning around here. Let's come to the side. All right, let's come to a full stop. Reset the Dragy. All right, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. All right. So we did 0 to 60 in 5.26 seconds, verified. 0 to 62 in 5.6. 40 to 84.97, and the 1/8 mile was at 8.81 at 83.9. Let's make sure that is the correct value. History, 1/8 mile, 83.9, that is the correct value. Okay. Racebox is not catching any satellites yet, but now we're gonna disable this, and we're gonna try with launch control right here. Nobody behind us, perfect. All right, let's come to a full stop. Oh, these brakes really need to be pressed hard. All right, 3, 2, 1. Alrighty, this was better. 0 to 60, 4.44 seconds. 0 to 62, 4.7 seconds. 40 to 84.98, and the 1/8 mile, 8.22 at 84.26. Perfect slope, as you can see right there. Unfortunately, Racebox does not want to work in this car. I don't know why, it just doesn't. So this summarizes the performance section of this test drive. This car does drive really nice. Handling is good, although body roll is a little more prevalent than I thought it would be. And this is with everything in like top sport. Like the car actually rolls to the sides. Let's actually take her back to the comfortable mode. Normal. Just cruise. We haven't done a wiper test, so here we go. Audi wipers. But this is a great car. It's super comfortable. I would gladly take this on any road trip, and I would absolutely have a blast with it. I love the way it drives and accelerates, and it really feels much faster than the numbers are in this car. It feels way faster than the numbers would suggest. Just because of these pops, these shifts, these aggressive bam, 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 bam. The lightning fast PDK, or no, is this an 8ZF? I think this is actually an 8ZF. I have to check, but it feels very dual clutch like when it shifts. But this summarizes today's test drive. I hope you all enjoyed it, and my verdict is it's a great car. It's an amazing car for what it is. It's powerful, but is it 150K good? I'm not sure. 100K, that's reasonable, maybe even 110. But beside that, very comfy. A lot of similarities with the SQ8, but this definitely looks I think, sportier. But make sure to smash that like and subscribe button. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, and until next time.